Good day, and welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. And let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. So today is going to be talking about Vin Baker. Vin Baker. He went to Saybrook High School, and he was 6 feet when he was at Saybrook High School, but by the time he left, he was around 6'9". He was around 6'9", and he wanted to get his name out there. To be recruited by colleges. Even went to Jim Calhoun's basketball camp, but Jim Calhoun wasn't that impressed by Vin Baker. And so he eventually ended up attending Hartford, the Hartford Hawks, where he had grown to 6'11", okay, 6 feet 11. And so in 1990, he averaged 13 minutes, 4.5 points per game. Then in 1991, he upped his average to 19.5 points per game. 1992, 27.6 points per game and almost 10 rebounds per game. And by 1993, he was called the best kept secret. NBA scouts were coming to Hartford to look at Vin Baker. And in 93, his senior year, he averaged 28.3 points and nearly 11 rebounds per game. Because he went to Hartford, which wasn't a big name school. America's best kept secret, because Hartford wasn't that big of a NCAA school. But this 28 points and nearly 11 rebounds per game was good enough to get him drafted 8th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. And the Bucks won their first game. Mike Dunleavy was in his second season as Bucks head coach. So the Bucks won their first game. Okay. Then they lost 10 straight. Then the Bucks lost 10 straight. And Vin Baker wasn't seeing that much playing time coming off the bench. But he was named a starter in mid-December, okay? And he had 8 points in his first NBA start. And he ended up having 26 doubles. He scored in double figures 55 times. Okay? Scored in double figures 55 times. And finishing was named all rookie team. So when he was named starter in mid-December, 17.5 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game. And so 1995 comes. By the way, he averaged about 10.6 points per game his rookie year. Okay. So in 1995, they have guys like Glenn Robinson, Todd Day, Eric Murdoch on the team. He upped his average to 17.7 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game while shooting 48 from the field. And so he was among the league leaders in minutes played in 1995. He averaged 41 minutes per game. He started in all 82 games and had 49 doubles and had a triple double. 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 12 assists, and was named to his first All-Star game. Okay? So that's how much he had improved. The Bucks improved to 36 and 46. They won only 22 games the previous year. Okay? So 1996 was a further improvement for Vin Baker. Averaged 21.1 points per game, nearly 10 rebounds per game, while shooting nearly 49% from the field. He had 76 games in double figures in 1996. Scored a career high 41 points versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Was again an NBA All-Star. I think I said he had 76 games in double figures. Okay. Yeah, so he had 76 games in double figures in 95, 96. But the Bucks took a step back. They were only 26 and 56 in 1996. So 97, they got a core of Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, and Vin Baker, but the Bucks still only finished with a 34 and 48 record. Okay, but Vin Baker was still Vin Baker, averaging 21 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, while shooting 49% from the field. Had 76 games in double figures, 45 double doubles, and was an NBA All-Star again. The Bucks started out the season 5-1, okay, and then they were at one point 21 and 26, okay, but then they only went 12 and 23, but they ended the season at only 12 and 23, which included a 8-game losing streak, okay. So, there's a 3-way trade in the 97 offseason that involves Seattle, Cleveland, and Milwaukee, in which Kemp goes to the Cavaliers, Terrell Brandon goes to the Bucks, and Vin Baker goes to Seattle Supersonics, okay? And so he started all 82 games for the Supersonics, was averaging about 36 minutes per game. It's averaging about 19.2 points per game while shooting 54% from the field. It was named to his final All-Star game. Okay. And they played the Timberwolves in the NBA first round of the NBA playoffs. Supersonics still had Gary Payton, Hersey Hawkins, Detlef Schrempf. They brought back Dale Ellis, and they had George Karl as coach. Seattle went 61 and 21 that year. And Vin Baker had 25 points and 12 rebounds in his first playoff game against the Timberwolves. And so the Sonics won in 5 games. Then came the NBA lockout. Okay. Then came the NBA lockout. And I talked about how the lockout ruined the careers of many players, and there were a lot of injuries that lockout season. It ruined the careers of Sean Kemp, Bryant Reeves, and Vin Baker is another guy whose career got ruined by the 98-99 NBA lockout. I can remember Jamal Mashburn. Um, Jamal Mashburn missed 26 games that year because he had a badly bruised knee that he suffered on the opening weekend of the 98-99 season. But Vin Baker, he reported to training camp in February, 25 pounds above his weight of 255. Okay, so he was at 280. Okay, he was at 280 instead of 255. The Sonics didn't bring back George Karl. He was coach of the Bucks, and the Sonics brought in Paul Westphal, but Vin Baker's scoring average dropped by 5 points, a career low in rebounds. Shot only 45% from the field. He had thumb and knee injuries, and he played in only 34 games that year because he was mostly out of shape. He averaged 13, close to 14 points per game, and 6.2 rebounds per game. But still, the Sonics signed him to a 7-year deal, $86 million deal. He was down by 15 pounds, lost 15 pounds. Okay. And he played in 79 games, averaging 16.6 points per game, 7.7 rebounds per game. Shooting, what's that? I think that's 68% or something. I believe so, 68%. Yeah. Won a gold medal with Team USA that off season. In 2001, he was a part-time starter, and also was used as the sixth man as well. So he played in 76 games, averaging 13.3 points per game. Okay. And this is when the Sonics acquired Patrick Ewing. They signed Ruben Patterson. And they also had a guy named Rashard Lewis, who was in his third season. He was starting to develop. So by 2002, injuries had caught up to Vin Baker again. Played only 55 games, averaging 14.1 points and 6.4 rebounds per game. And then 2003, he was traded to Boston. Okay, and Boston already had Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. He shot 48% for Boston in 2002-2003. And the Celtics suspended him for alcohol use and marijuana use. And it was around the 98-99 lockout where Vin Baker began to binge drink. He was binge drinking during the NBA lockout, and he was also using marijuana during the NBA lockout. And so and Ray Allen recalls, and Ray Allen tells a story because they did a story on Vin Baker in Slam magazine. I remember reading a story in Slam magazine where they did an article on Vin Baker, and Ray Allen said getting traded for Vin Baker, getting traded to Seattle was one of the worst things to happen for Vin Baker because I think Vin Baker wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for all the success and all the accolades that came his way in such short years. And so Ray Allen said leaving Milwaukee was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to him, but not at the current time. Okay. But it was but the 2003 season revealed that he was having problems with alcohol, was binge drinking during the NBA lockout, and he averaged about 5.4 points and 4.8 rebounds per game. And so he began 2003-2004 with the Celtics, but was suspended in January for alcohol program violations. Okay. Eventually got released, was picked up by the Knicks and averaged close to 10 points per game. Then he ended his career with the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Timberwolves. Okay. So Vin Baker was having a pretty good NBA career on up until the NBA lockout began his decline as a player, although he still had some pretty productive years. The lockout ruined careers of prominent NBA players. When Shawn Kemp went from being the Rain Man to the Pizza Man. So it's just unfortunate that alcohol and drug use further led to the end of his production as a productive NBA player. So but he was pretty damn good early on. The guy was a multiple time All-Star. 95, 96, 97, 98. He was pretty damn good. So, all right. That's it, and that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. God bless you all. I'm out of here. Peace out. God bless.